What if I told you that a tiny spice, no bigger than your fingertip, could reignite your vitality and awaken your sexual energy in just 60 seconds? It may seem like an exaggeration, but no matter how old you are, how many medications you've taken, or how many times you've been disappointed, Simple Bite can initiate a natural healing process that seemed impossible. I know this may sound unbelievable, but I invite you to stay with me. What I'm about to share has the power to profoundly transform your relationship with your own body. My name is Ana Laura D. I've dedicated over 30 years of my life to helping men over 60 regain what time, stress, and the modern system have silently stolen from them: confidence, vitality, circulation, and, most importantly, the feeling of still being in control. And here's the most surprising thing: the answer to this transformation doesn't lie in expensive medications, surgeries, or cutting-edge devices. It comes from something ancient, common spice, hidden in plain sight, yet ignored by almost everyone. A spice your ancestors used before in intimate moments, and which modern science is now beginning to understand more deeply. Perhaps it's right there in your kitchen right now, without you even realizing its true power. In the next few minutes, I'll show you exactly how chewing this spice for just 1 minute can trigger a series of positive reactions, dilating your blood vessels, relieving stress that sabotages your testosterone levels, combating oral inflammation that hinders circulation, and even improving the quality of your sleep, essential for hormonal balance. I'll guide you step by step, explaining how to use it, what to expect in the first 7, 14, and 30 days, and how it can become a natural ally in your recovery journey. But before we continue, I recommend you subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of the content I create focused on the comprehensive health of mature men. And if this message has touched something within you, comment 1 below. If not, type 0. That way, I can better understand your needs. Now, let's get straight to the heart of this discovery. What makes this spice so potent? The secret lies in a natural compound, calidogenol, present in each small clove of the spice known as cloves. This compound is responsible for a series of beneficial reactions in the body. It activates blood circulation, promotes vascular relaxation, and restores the body's vigorous and natural response, perhaps even better than before. I clearly remember a moment that changed my professional trajectory. A patient looked me in the eye and said, with a firm yet fragile voice, "Doctor, I just want to feel like myself again." He wasn't talking about extreme physical strength or athletic feats. He was referring to that quiet confidence, the masculine presence that comes from within when the body still responds to desire and intimacy as it should. It was this deep desire for reconnection that led me to seek unconventional solutions. And that's when I turned my attention to you. This compound, highly concentrated in cloves, is released the moment you chew them. It doesn't just work in the mouth, it penetrates the mucosa and quickly enters the bloodstream. And that's where true transformation begins. Eugenol acts as a true youth restorer for your circulatory system. It has a vasodilatory effect, that is, it relaxes and expands blood vessels, especially the narrower, hardened ones that supply the sexual region. After age 60, it's common for these vessels to lose elasticity, hindering blood flow. This means that even if desire is present, the body simply doesn't respond as it once did. But eugenol changes this scenario. It acts like a gentle massage on the arterial walls, opening the way for blood to circulate freely. Nothing is forced. There's no artificial stimulation. It's just your body doing what once came natural. And what's more, this compound also stimulates the production of nitric oxide, same substance those famous blue pills try to replicate. The difference? This is pure biology, with no synthetic chemicals, no side effects, no headaches, and no dreaded post-snooze crash. Many men report a slight sensation of warmth, as if their circulation is awakening. It's subtle, but powerful. And if this is what a single compound can do, imagine what this spice can do to combat stress, silent villain that has been eating away at your testosterone for decades. Now let's touch on a sensitive point. Why do erections weaken as we age? And how can the clove be a real answer? I've had countless men in my office, even 80 years old, with downcast eyes and hesitant voices, saying the same thing: "It's not working like it used to." And my answer is always the same: This is not your fault, it's not a sign of failure, nor a reason to be ashamed. It's just the body reacting to years of accumulated stress, poor diet, silent inflammation, and a sedentary lifestyle. These factors narrow the vessels, make them rigid, and compromise blood flow. And without flow, there's no sexual response. But here's the truth that many professionals don't tell you. This can be your body has the ability to regenerate itself, and cloves are one of the most effective allies in this process. Remember, it not only dilates blood vessels but also works to restore flexibility to their inner walls. Imagine an old pipe, corroded by rust, being gently cleaned until it works again. That's what happens inside you. Over time, blood begins to flow with more force and direction, awakening functions that were merely dormant. Some of my patients, after just a few weeks of using this method, reported something they hadn't experienced in years: waking up with morning erections, no medication, no miracle, just their circulation working as it should. That's the beauty of this natural process. It doesn't force the body to do anything. It simply gives it back the right to function as it was designed. However, even with restored circulation, there's another factor, invisible but destructive, that can continue to sabotage your results. It's been operating silently for years and needs to be addressed. We'll discuss this next. Now, I'm going to show you 3 simple ways to apply the clove method in just 60 seconds. Yes, that's right. Sometimes, the most powerful solutions are also the simple. This small ritual has already transformed the lives of many of my patients, restoring their energy, self-esteem, and vitality. No prescriptions, no embarrassing appointments, no pharmacy lines, just a daily gesture straight from your kitchen with real results. And the best part? All of this can start in just 1 minute a day. This is exactly how I teach my patients to apply the blackhead method. Take 2 or 3 whole cloves, never powdered, and preferably organic, though any good quality dried clove will work. Place them between your back teeth, where chewing is firmer. Now comes the most important part. Don't be in a hurry, chew slowly, feeling the cloves open. Let their natural oils spread throughout your mouth. Breathe deeply through your nose and stay relaxed for the first 30 seconds. Just keep the pieces in your mouth, allowing your saliva to mix with the oils. You may feel a wave of heat rise through your body. This is a good sign. It means thugenalus being absorbed through the sensitive membranes of the mouth and entering directly into the bloodstream, where it can begin to act. After that, chew a little more, take your time. Just enough to break up the cloves. Keep them in your mouth for another 30 seconds. That's it. After that full minute, you can choose to swallow the pieces or spit them out. Both are correct. What makes this method so powerful is its rapid effects. Many men report feeling a difference within minutes. Their minds clear. Their bodies feel more awake. There's a feeling of re-inhabiting their own bodies with greater focus, presence, and vitality. But chewing cloves does more than just boost blood flow or physical energy. It all sounds like something essential that many men, especially after 60, don't even know they're missing out on. And that's what we're going to talk about next. When to use the clove method for best results. This is one of the questions I hear most often. It usually comes up after a man tries the method for the first time, feels that characteristic warmth, and is surprised by the effects. Doctor, when should I do this to make it work even better? The answer is amphetamine-like. Tuning a musical instrument, you want everything to be in harmony. Your hormones, your nervous system, your circulation, and the time of day can indeed make a difference. For many of my patients, the ideal time is at night, about an hour before bed, when the day ends and the mind begins to slow down. Chewing cloves at this time helps calm the nervous system and prepare the body for a deep, restorative sleep. And why is this important? Because it is during or IM default, the body produces the greatest amount of testosterone. Nighttime use prepares the stage. It improves sleep quality, aids hormonal recovery, and, as many report, contributes to firmer morning erections, a classic sign that vitality is returned. But don't underestimate the beginning of the dewasing. The method in the morning, still on an empty stomach, helps activate circulation and establish a calm yet alert mental state. Some men like to use it before exercising. Others prefer it 30 to 45 minutes before intimate moments when they desire greater connection, presence, and natural stamina. The key here is not to do it once and expect miracles. Daily consistency is what generates real momentum. This isn't a gimmick. It's a simple and powerful investment in your long-term vitality. And if you're wondering how something so small can cause such significant changes, maybe it's time to take a closer look at what's going on, preventing your body from functioning as it should. Because understanding what blocks it is the first step to unblocking it. There's a silent force that corrodes male vitality from the inside out. Most men never recognize it until it's too late. The time has come to bring it to light, and it all starts with an old enemy with a new face: stress. Throughout my career, I've seen countless men disciplined, healthy, doing everything right. They eat a balanced diet, exercise regularly, and attend regular appointments. But even so, their energy levels are always low. Desire comes and goes, and their bodies no longer respond as they once did, especially in the moments that matter most. That's when I ask the question that almost always changes the direction of the conversation. How is your stress? Silence? A sigh. And the truth appears. Money, worries, family pressures, fears about health and aging. The anguish of no longer being who they once were. Few realize how much this silent burn, a constant, suffocating, is undermining their masculinity every day. You see, chronic stress releases a flood of cortisol, a hormone essential in emergency situations, but extremely harmful when it remains high all the time. And here's the part that many people don't know. Cortisol and testosterone, a rival state, cannot coexist at high levels. When one rises, the other falls. In other words, the more stressed you are, the less testosterone your body can produce. And without testosterone, your strength, your desire, and your sexual response just ... fade away. That's why cloves do much more than just stimulate circulation. It also helps to rejuvenate the body emotionally. One of the compounds present in cloves, beta-caryophyllene, acts directly on brain receptors linked to feelings of security and well-being. Within minutes, many men report feeling almost immediate relief, as if a weight has been lifted. The mind clears, the body slows down, and cortisol begins to subside. And when cortisol recedes, testosterone has room to flourish naturally, without artificial formulas or side effects. What you feel isn't an explosive change. It's subtle, almost imperceptible at first, but it's real and transformative. And there's more. There's a second positive side effect of this stress reduction, perhaps the most important of all: deep, restorative sleep. If there's one pattern I see frequently among my older patients, it's this: when sleep starts to fail, everything else falls apart. You can eat well, maintain an exercise routine, take all the supplements in the world, but if your sleep is weak, choppy, superficial, your hormones have no chance. It is during deep sleep that the body carries out the most important repairs. This is where testosterone is produced in greater volume. This is where the brain turns off anxiety, where muscles regenerate, where hormones reorganize. Now, stop and think, how many men over 60 can actually sleep like this? Many tell me that they are awake at 2 in the morning, tossing and turning in bed, their mind racing. Others fall asleep easily, but wake up repeatedly and wake up in the morning feeling like they haven't even rested. So they ask themselves, why am I always tired? Why did my desire disappear? Why doesn't my body keep up with me anymore? Most of the time, the answer is simple and straightforward: poor quality sleep. And that's where the clove returns to the center of the conversation. In addition to improving circulation, it is a powerful ally of the nervous system. Its compounds, especially eugenol and beta-caryophyllene, have a relaxing effect on the brain, helping to reduce the activity of the amygdala, the part of the brain that triggers stress alarm. When you chew cloves at night, about an hour before bed, it begins to prepare your body for real rest. Deep, stable, restorative. It's not just about sleeping, it's sleeping the way your body needs to heal. Many men tell me that they have returned to dream at night, something they didn't even realize they'd lost. They wake up with more mental clarity, more energy, and, often, with firmer morning erection. This isn't a coincidence, it's testosterone getting back to work. So if you've been waking up tired, irritable, or with that feeling that you're always below your potential, look at your sleep first. Improving this one area can trigger a chain reaction of healing and restoration throughout your body. But the power of cloves doesn't stop there. Let me ask you a question. What if your mouth was silently sabotaging your intimate life? It may seem strange, even unlikely, but I've seen it happen so many times that I can no longer ignore it. Men who come into my office complaining of low energy, weak erections, with no explanation. Their blood pressure is stable, their labs are normal, ... And then I ask a simple question: how is your oral health? This is when the truth usually emerges: bleeding, receding gums, persistent bad breath. Most people have never connected these signs to what happens or doesn't happen in the bedroom, but the science is clear. Everything is connected. The mouth is one of the main gateways to your circulatory system. When you have gum disease, even if you don't feel pain, bacteria can escape from the inflamed gums and enter your bloodstream. These bacteria travel throughout your body and cause a silent chronic inflammation, especially in the more delicate vessels, such as those that support your erection. It's like trying to use a hose full of mud. No matter how much pressure there is, nothing flows the right way. Studies have already shown that men with advanced gum disease are up to 70% more likely to develop erectile dysfunction. This is not a myth. It's physiology. And this is where cloves come in as more than just a natural stimulant. They become a daily protector of your oral and vascular health. The essential oil present in cloves is one of nature's most powerful natural antiseptics. When you chew a whole clove, these antibacterial compounds begin working immediately, harmful bacteria, before they enter the bloodstream. It's fast, effective, and in many cases, you can still feel this effect in your mouth. It's one of the simplest and most overlooked steps to regaining full health. When your mouth is cleaner, your blood flows cleaner too. And when the blood flows well, everything improves. Now that your vessels are opening, your hormones are rising, and your body is realigning itself. What to expect in the coming weeks? Here's what typically happens with my patients week after week. Week 1, the new beginning in the first few days. Many report an unexpected sensation, mental clarity. Your head feels lighter. Your focus improves. Some people feel a slight surge of energy. Others start to sleep a little better. And that subtle warmth that arises when chewing on cloves, it starts to become familiar, almost like a subtle activation of vitality. It's not an instant miracle. It's a gradual reconnection with the body. Week 2, circulation and present circulation begins to improve. Some patients report warmer hands and feet. Others notice that wake up feeling more energetic. And yes, morning erections may start to reappear. Sleep deepens. Anxiety begins to diminish, and the body responds with greater presence, more attention to the senses, more energy for simple activities, and greater confidence. Week 3 to 4, the body reorganizes. This is the turning point. With constant use, many men notice significant changes: more stable libido, more balanced mood, and a more positive self-perception. You don't just work better, you'll feel better, more centered, more in control of yourself, as if your body had finally stopped fighting you and started working for you. I remember a man in his 60s who came to me exhausted, skeptical, and ashamed of having lost what he once had. We started the Clove Protocol together. I simply asked, be consistent for 30 days. 30 days later, he came back different. His posture was more erect, his gaze was firmer, and the first words he said to me were, "Doctor, I think I'm becoming myself again." After a week, he called me and said, "Doctor, something's going on. I feel more awake in the morning." And that was just the beginning. Within the first 7 days, most men notice subtle changes: a warm feeling in the body, a clearer mind, slightly deeper sleep, and an extra motivation to get up and move around. It's not dramatic, but it's there. It's a clear sign that your body is starting to respond. By the 14th, things usually get even better. Energy increases. Mornings feel different, more alive, more alert, and sometimes something appears that you haven't felt in years. Spontaneous morning erections. This isn't magic. It's blood flow returning to normal and testosterone doing its job again. And on the 30th, many people tell me they feel like different people. It's not just that erections return, stronger and more frequent. Confidence also changes. They behave differently. Their partners notice even if intimacy is still being rebuilt. Connection and emotional presence begin to blossom again. And that's the real goal. Feel like yourself again, living in a body that pulses with life, not stagnation or resistance. But remember, This is just the beginning, because once you unlock that strength, the big question that remains is, how can we maintain and protect this vitality for years to come? At our next meeting, we will talk exactly about this, how to turn this simple habit into a lasting foundation for your lifelong vitality. The strength you were waiting to feel again. I've spent more than 30 years with men like you, men who silently carry the weight of fading confidence, of the fear that their best days are behind them. But I promise, it is not like that. This simple habit of chewing a few cloves for 60 seconds can do much more than improve your blood flow, calm your nerves, restore your deep sleep, revive your testosterone, and even clean your mouth to protect your heart and your masculinity. I've seen it awaken circulation, restore desire, and most importantly, restore men to themselves. If you've made it this far, your body is already asking for a change. And now you know what you can give him. The decision is in your hands. Keep waiting for a miracle, or start building one with your own hands. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to take the first step. Start tonight, and let your strength return one day at a time.